you guys well know was gone, we welded the original valence piece to the actual hood to make one solid piece. And then we chipped a little bit extra off these pieces, the front quarter panels. We chipped them off so that way we can flex this bumper so we can get the entire body line. And then we marked each one of the, so that way the body line that starts on the bumper actually flushes into the body line of the CUDA all the way back, so that it gives us the angle that we want and the aggressiveness. And then all we need to do is custom build each one of the buckets for the 7-inch headlights, the Charger halos. And then we're gonna build the entire front grille portion so it looks like an old school Barracuda, so that it hides the radiator and all of the modifications that we've done, as well as the custom front bumper assembly. So that's what we're trying to do now.
So we got a few little spot holes that we're gonna fill in so that the body is flush, the engine bay is flush on the inside. It's just more for aesthetics, make it look more pleasing. Plus there's a few small nominal rust marks that we are not going to cut out because it's just not really worth it. So to prevent the rust from happening, we put a little rust neutralizer down, and then we're just going to fill it. That way it looks uniform. So we're trying to marry this up. We got the spacing for the rear set up good enough, but the original location for the hood latch is coming into effect. It's blocking the hood from sitting flush, just because we moved the radiator support 4 inches forward. So now where the previous location for the hood latch was, is sitting right on top of the radiator support. So in order to marry everything up good, we gotta cut it off. That way everything sits more flush and we can get a better size of where we can marry the Demon bumper to this front end.
And you can see the difference between where the hood latch is pushing the hood up versus where the original fenders are. Because we pull the radiator support forward, it's sitting just on top of the new radiator support, and you can see there's about a 1/2 inch gap now. So we put tape in the back to offset the problem with the hood, like the hood extensions, so you can lift the hood. So when we took those off, all the old cars have it to where they sit just above level, so that it doesn't flex, and when it keeps the tension on the hood, so when you're going at speed, it doesn't fly open, but it also doesn't sit there and bounce. So what we did is we put tape back there to to basically mimic the hood assembly being completely installed. And then all I'm going to do is lift the hood, and then he's going to cut the hood latch assembly completely off, so we can drop it down and then flush all the way across. So when we put the bumper up, we can measure where we need the bumper to be mounted so that it's all flush and it looks nice.
Alright, so we cut that off, and you can see it's flush in the front, just like it's flush in the rear after we spaced it. So now I'm gonna put the bumper back up and see if these lines changed, which they most likely did, because now it's sitting, down more. So I'm gonna put the bumper up, see the difference, and then re-mark the lines if needed. That way we know if we need to cut back or cut less.
So we measured each side with the new bumper on after we made the cut to the hood latch. So each side is different because when we cut it, we originally had the hood latch and we extended the front end a little bit. So we had to re-measure and recut. So the left side on the inside portion is 3 7/8 to the edge. And then on the outside portion is 2 3/4. And then we have 2 inches of gap between the outside secondary body line, which is right here. And then it flushes up at the bottom. So to cover all this, we're gonna measure and cut some sheet steel so that we can add in, so that it all flushes all the way into the new front bumper. On the right side, I gotta make a 3 1/4 cut on the inside, and then a 2 inches on the outside. And then it's like 2.5 inches on the underside, because we cut it too short on the one side because there was too much rust on here, so we had to cut it all the way out. So the right side is the driver's side is awkwardly cut because of the rust issue, but now that we have the measurements, I can cut the sheet steel to replace that, and then we can use that for the new molds for the carbon fiber.